Salam sejahtera kepada Prof. Hamidah dan Dr. Harun. Hari ini saya ingin membentangkan tugasan kedua saya, iaitu sintesis literatur dan peta literatur atau kerangka teori atau konsep. Saya Ngai Suatlu dengan ID nombor P84325. Pembentangan saya akan berbahasa English sebab saya masih tidak mahir lagi terjemahkan bahasa English kepada bahasa Melayu. Okay, this is my conceptual framework as what I have read through the journals and reviews or books. I have come across all these concept, and I have the idea of doing my project entitled Engaging Large Group Foundation Students in Connective Learning. So actually, I'm an assistant lecturer teaching biology in University Tunku Abdul Rahman. Okay, so from this project, I hope that I can assess the students and also teacher as the outcomes for this project. For the students, I predict with the methodologies that I'm going to implement to this process, I'm going to measure the students' achievement, students' independent learning, student cooperative learning, students' communication skill, students' critical thinking and problem solving skill, and as well as students' ICT literary skills. Okay, for teacher, I believe that with the methodology that I have designed, it can allow the teachers to have self-reflections and therefore to increase or to stimulate the self-development in the lecturer or teacher. Okay. So, in order to have these outcomes to be achieved, I have basically subdivided my the literature into three major topics. So the first one is the learning outcomes. So learning outcomes of each topic or lecture must be designed based on Bloom's taxonomy. From there, we can employ different teaching strategies, including the teaching materials and learning environments related to the activity in the classes or before the classes is being conducted. So therefore, with this teaching strategies employed, I shall assess the students based on the characteristic of assessment tasks in the large group in order for me to have the overall outcomes to be studied. Alright. So for the background, what I have gone through is student learning styles are more diversified nowadays. What is learning style? According to Sarasin in 1998, learning style is defined as the preference or predisposition of an individual to perceive and process the information in either a particular way or a combinations of different ways. So with this advanced technology nowadays, the accessibility, okay, searching information online prompts to allow students to search or learn via the internet. Okay, so therefore, with this, the framework of 21st century learning has been developed in order to engage more students in the learning process. So, from this framework, the standards, assessment, curriculum, instructions, professional development, as well as the learning environments are aligned, should be aligned to make sure the students master the knowledge and the soft skills in order to proceed into their career life and also their living life after graduate. Okay. So what can we observe here? Learning in a traditional classroom is no longer suitable in order to fit into the outcomes of the 21st century learning century. So why I say so? Because the students nowadays are not only required to show understanding through the rote memory, but as well as they are requested to demonstrate higher order thinking skill proficiently. And traditional classroom just focus on the surface approach by addressing lower levels of Bloom's taxonomy, which are remembering, understanding, and applying within within the classroom. This makes the students to be expected performing higher levels of Bloom taxonomies on their own before assessment being done. So what are the criteria, or what are the components in the higher levels of Bloom's taxonomy are analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So flipped learning is a strategy that totally invert the reverse of the traditional classroom. So according to Bishop and Verlager in 2013, flipped learning means interactive group learning activities inside the classroom to employ higher level of Bloom taxonomy. Meanwhile, the lower Bloom taxonomy will be implemented via the direct computer-based individual instructions outside the classroom. So, according to Borman in 2014 as well, flipped learning can be considered a deep approach because with the activities designed to reach different learners at varying cognitive levels. Same time, we have support statements from Biggs that stated a good teaching in the 21st century learning focus on guiding students instead of deliver knowledge to them, so that the students are guided to understand the world with the conceptual change, and also guided the students in methods so that the students can achieve the understanding and apply the knowledge they have processed in the cognitive. So this is basically a theoretical framework for flipped learning adopted from Bishop and Verlager journals in 2013. So basically this is a mapping of the psycho-educational origins of student-centered learning theories. So what we can see here, the student-centered learning theories cover the Kolb learning styles, Felder, Silverman learning styles, constructivisms, problem-based learning, active learning, collaborative learning, cooperative learning, as well as peer-assisted learning. So from the student-centered learning, this theoretical framework is applicable as a guideline for us, the teacher, to design the activities in the classroom. And there are a lot of research being done employing interactive learning activities with this student-centered learning based on Piaget's constructivism theory. Alright, so for Piaget, there are three main views from him on education, which are: teaching is always indirect. So this means the students shouldn't be directly given with knowledge. They should interpret what they hear in the light of their own knowledge and experience. And there should be the student should be the one who transform the input rather than the teacher. Second, the transmissions model or conduit metaphor of human communication won't do. To Piaget, okay, knowledge is not an information that can deliver to at one end. There's no one direction. Alright, that's not necessary for the information to be encoded, memorized, retrieved, and applied at the other end. So it means the students are not compulsory to memorize without understanding. The third view is a theory of learning that ignores resistance to learning misses the point. What it meant by here is Piaget believed that the kids have good reasons and their point of view shouldn't be abandoned. Okay, so conceptual change make a process of learning since young if the constructivism is being employed. Alright, so what is the teacher's role in the flipped learning? So teacher is no longer a lecturer or a person who delivers knowledge. So teachers should act as a facilitator or cognitive coach in the classroom. So there are three major outcomes with this cognitive coach. One is about trust. Students and teachers should trust and respect each other in the learning environment in order to develop the intellectual growth and self-improvement. Okay. The second component, second major outcome will be the learning. So teachers should be trained and skillful in engaging students' intellect, maintain students' access to this higher cognitive function, and also able or have the skill to employ tools and methods to expand students' frames of reference so that they can learn it with their own cognitive, learn it in the brain, allowing the cognitive process happen in the students. The last but not least is the autonomy, which is the major outcome from this cognitive coach from the point of my view. Okay, why? With this continuous cognitive coach in the class, students are trained to be able to think and retain, and they can do self-monitoring, self-analyzing, and able to self-evaluate their own performance and their own knowledge. Alright. So what are the strategies needed to employ in the flipped learning? So what I have gone through with the literature review, that learning outcomes must be designed and clearly stated by referring to the keywords in different levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Alright. The teaching topics should be recorded in short videos and share to the students, allowing them to go through it before the class, so that when the students come into the class, they have a basic idea of what they are going to learn in this class. And what's so important and the advantage of this video is students able to control the video recorded lecture at any time, anywhere. They can even pause it, fast forward, or replay it. So the self-pacing, okay, can be done by the students itself outside the classroom. Okay, so when the students come into the class, so the teachers that act as their cognitive coach will conduct different activities to match with different learners so that they can improve or achieve the learning outcomes being designed earlier. Okay, so what I have gone through in Bowman's journal in 2014, activities such as case study and problem solving can be conducted in order to train the students to have critical thinking skills. And with this critical thinking skills being trained in every class, it can definitely increase the students' performance through the assessment given. Besides that, students with more and more higher order thinking skills developed in class able or manage to allow students to do proper decision making, as they are good or better in judging and synthesizing the information rather than just receive the information without processing it. So what I have gone through is learning outcomes, teaching strategies, and the assessment methods must be aligned, okay, to ensure the objectives of engaging students in cognitive learning is achieved. Okay, so another reading, according to Biggs in 1999, there are two major functions of assessment, okay, which are to inform the students. They are why we do assessment. Okay, assessment is needed so that to tell the teachers whether the learning has been successfully processed in students, as well as to assess whether the students able to perform what the teachers want them to learn. Okay, so another study have been found. Rapid assessment on large class size can be conducted by using the online quiz system, so that the teachers can gather the students' information students' understanding of the front-loading content that we have shared before the class, and the data received is going to determine the class activity. So this is another good strategies that can be employed when we are teaching large class size. So basically, we can see that flipped learning is a good what I can say is a method. However, there are some challenges being faced by the researcher. Mainly, we have two here. Still, there are a small number of students who did not view the front-loading content before coming to the class, as they dislike the change in the class teaching methodology from the teaching-centered learning style, since they have been adapted to in primary and secondary, and there's changes when they're coming to this tertiary education. Okay, that's all for me for the literature review of my project, and these are the references that I have gone through. Okay, there are total 9 journals, books being being read, okay, before producing this assignment. That's all for me. Thank you so much. That's all. Thank you.